Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. It's just Rhonda, and I'm just here to talk about Ready to Love, Make a Move, Season 1, Episode 8. Before we get started, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Girl, let's get on into the Ashley show. So Ashley and Donald are having this conversation where he was like, "Oh yeah, didn't I tell you that I was married?" And she's like, "Well, didn't no." He said he was just 21 years old, and him and this girl, they didn't tell anyone. They just went down to the courthouse and got married, and it lasted a year. I mean, he was 21. I feel like at 21, a lot of times, you think you different and you make these type of impulse decisions. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not. This did not. He said the biggest thing he took away from it was that he would never get married without having more information. I don't know what information he's talking about. I don't know what that even means. What information are you missing? Does he mean not to get married before getting to know someone? Maybe that's what he meant, but he said he was out here looking for information. And I don't, since he's such a poet and has such a way with words, I feel like he said it just the way he meant to say it. It almost implied like, it just felt like he was taking blame off of himself and saying, had I got more information, I would have been making better decisions. Had she got more information, she might feel the same way. Y'all were 21. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say both of y'all needed more information. Ashley's interpretation of that is that Donald is a hopeless romantic. I did not hear him say that, but that's what Ashley heard him say. She said they're just two people that love, and that's beautiful. She's so dramatic, Ashley. Girl, what he said was, this is what I heard him say before he sprung that, oh, by the way, didn't I tell you I'm married? He said none of his relationships were healthy. Not none, not one. What you should have asked him was when he got married, like, was that one of your unhealthy relationships? And what caused the divorce? What was it that get more about this information that he's missing out on? I'm just saying. You over here talking about, oh, he just is so, we love love, he loves love, I love love, we love love together. So glad Donald fell out of heaven and landed in New Orleans. Ask him why he never brought it up. Like, I feel like that's a big thing. Anyway, she didn't, because she's, so they're playing this game, this card game. So Ashley pulls a card, and her question is, what is her question? What is your honest opinion of me? And Donald's like, that's for real on the cards? Because they actually do ask those types of questions. Yes, Donald, that's on the card. She had to show him. It says that right there on the card. Donald, you're amazing. You're intelligent. You're driven. You're healed. Healed from what? What is she healed from, Donald? She don't seem healed. He said they have matching intellect. I guess because they seem to understand each other. I don't know what they're waiting for. I feel like I guess Ashley is obviously not going to run down to the courthouse, but she responds with, I love your brain and how it works. It was just a blah, blah, blah. Is she for real? I don't think she likes Donald at all. That's the funny part. I think she's just like, I don't know. I think she's in love with being dramatic. That's what she likes doing. At one point in one of her confessionals, she was literally like, I'm like, girl, no, thank you. If you felt all of this love in his brain and all of that, what did you dump him for? For Kirsten, who really wasn't giving you no vibe. I'm just saying. Zadia goes over to meet Cameron, over to his house. I hate it when he does that. Then I get all thrown off. Anyway, they can handle that out there. Zadia goes to visit Cameron's house. Now, production is asking her, is she sure it's the first time? I'm not going to act like Zadia been over to Cameron's house. I think y'all are putting 20 on 10. I just, I feel like they've been feeling each other and they might have been feeling on each other, but I don't know that she's been to his house. Maybe. I don't. Yeah, because I mean, she's trying to play this goody two shoes role. Anyway, I do notice that the dog felt very comfortable. He wasn't acting like he just met her, so maybe she had been in his house. That's neither here nor there. I don't think that's going to have any effect on what's going on here. Cameron's house is definitely woman free. And that's okay. Like he just seems like he's over there doing what he needs to do to get, what he needs to get done. I feel like that's probably why he's in the space that he's in, where he feels like he's ready for the next thing. Cameron says his house is a reflection of him. And he said he's using it to build something bigger. I was like, keep talking, Cameron. This is the shit I'm talking about. He's not renting an apartment. He refers to his house as a stepping stone. They said it was a trap house. It looked like a nice enough house. For a guy, they don't usually it clearly he went into it as an investment property. And I don't know much about New Orleans, so I don't know, like, how every city kind of has, that vibe of what their house like. When you look at the what is it, the Shy, and those houses are like very long and stacked next to each other. It's just different depending on the city. From what I saw, it seemed like a nice house. I did see a BMW in the driveway, so he do know how to get flossy when he wants to. But I think that's very smart. He's turned, like, he got to pay rent somewhere. Why not invest in it? And very smart, Cameron. Um, he said he's ready to incorporate somebody into his life and go ahead and upsize that thing. Yeah, Zadia. He said he ready. Cameron said his money is tied up in crypto and in stock. He is enjoying the hustle. These are his words. And he should be. He's 36 years old. He should be like, it just is very refreshing to see someone that seems very genuine, not fronting. You know what I'm saying? He's very clear on where he is and what he's looking for. And that's not something you get very often, especially from somebody, not often, because Mizell is over here sounding a damn fool, a stippling and a bibbling over trying to be Playboy out here with them dentures. Is Mizell wearing dentures? Maybe not. They look like dentures or caps or something. Cameron plans on investing in more properties in New Orleans. Like, the more he talked, the more I was like, well, you go ahead on. He has no interest in going to DC. Zadia, when you came on the show, the lady said in the very beginning that if you were the one talking about, and I know it was you talking about the poop and the pee in the daggum dating pool of DC. So nobody said you was getting ready to come down here to New Orleans and drag a man back to DC with you. That's not what this was supposed to be about. They said, are you ready to make a move? So when you're talking to this man who seems to be very much establishing, rooting himself in this situation where he's in, that you came to down here to New Orleans, stop trying to tell him to, remix his shit so he can do it in DC. For what? Ain't nobody trying to be over there. He said he lived in the cold before. He's not trying to do that anymore. And if that's what you're doing, do that, Zadia. You ain't even making sense. Says he has a good sense of his vision. That is awesome because that's not an easy thing to have. I know people who've worked very hard in a career that they don't like because the money was good, but have no clue like what their actual vision and what it is they would want to do. You know what I'm saying? Outside of what they chose. Um, Zadia said visions could change. Why he need to be out here changing his vision? See, I feel like women are always talking about, first of all, how they're looking for a man that has a vision and, ambition. And so he's got that. He's got those things. Zadia wants a soft life. These are her words. And he working hard enough to provide that. But now you want him to change his vision. Girl, stop. What are you talking about? I feel like when we're out here on this journey to find partnership, um, the idea is to find a person whose vision aligns with yours or one that you can see working together. Don't you have your own vision, girl? Ain't nobody asking you to change your vision. You brought your ass to New Orleans. I was so irritated with Zadia because I was like, well, she don't listen. Man, she had me worked up. And I said last week, I wish you would just calm down. Even if y'all are trying to do something long distance, that's how you get to know each other and see if it's worth, spending a little time on. What is it that you want this man to do? Matrimony you? Girl, shut up. Zadia said she came into the situation trying to make something work. And he's shutting her down at every turn. I did not hear him shut her down not one time, except for when he said he was not moving to DC. That's it. That's all he said. You want him to rearrange his whole vision in life. Sound a fool. We out here looking for a man with a plan, not a man to go remix it, and then you will be out here saying he's unstable. He doesn't know what he wants to do. They agree, that long distance is not ideal. That's not what you would necessarily want to do, but for the right person, you try and see if it will work. And then you see, like, make plans for what does that look like, a year from now, 2 years from now. I'm just saying, girl, unless Zadia talking about, am I that person? We trying to see, girl. That's what we trying to see. How many dates have you been on? And what person? You want him to decide now if you're his person? I mean, I guess she said he ain't moving fast enough. She said he gotta figure out what he's trying to do because what she say, a blind date can just knock him out his spot. She ain't had one yet. She didn't have blind dates. She ain't had one. She was on all her blind dates talking about, I just want to go on a date with Cameron. Sharice don't have nobody, so Tamika to set her up on another blind date. And so she has a blind date with this guy, Nick with the high top bag. Girl. No, we not. No, we're not going out on dates with a man, grown ass man in 2023, and he got a Gumby haircut. That's not what we're doing. She said she saw him at the first mixer. She saw him. She saw that box haircut standing in the back. What did she do? She went and picked the little man with the suit on, and then he kept showing up with a vest. And she should have went ahead and picked Bobby Brown over here with the high top fade. She didn't choose him. I would say she probably looked out there and said, not the man with the crazy haircut, but here he is. Tamika sent him over here. Now we've just sat up here and listened to Cameron talk about his vision and what he's planning. And then here's High Top Nick that wants to talk about being at the gym. You go to the gym, I go to the gym. We can work out together. What's your sign? My name is Larry. Jesus. I don't like High Top Nick. Sorry. So apparently Sharice does. She wants this nigga cooking in the kitchen with no clothes and an apron on. Ew, stop it. Sharice, you be like telling people don't touch you on one hand, and then somebody shows up with a six-pack, and all of a sudden you want him to get butt naked in your kitchen and cooking. Mixed signals. That's what she be sending. Venicia and Tabari. I don't know. I don't know why I was so entertained by this episode because wasn't really nothing going on, but they was entertaining me. So Tabari is over there cooking dinner. He's giving her a tour of the Airbnb and presents her with some roses. Look here, Tabari. The roses were nice and everything, but it was just a real basic ass bouquet of flowers. You said long stem roses, and those were definitely not long stem roses. It's okay, but don't make a big production on a basic ass bouquet. Like, just give her the damn flowers. You standing there like, da da, look what I got you. And she was looking at me like, oh, thank you. These are nice. I mean, she did ask for them. It's, anyway. Bernicia says that Tabari spends a lot of time in Mississippi. And she apparently, now, we got a little information out of Bernicia because she did an interview over here with Crystal XO. So I guess these guys were lame as hell. They said some of them were kind of smelly with bad breath. And that's what Bernicia was over here saying. And so it was very hard for them. And she said, this guy, Tabari, actually lives more in Mississippi than he does in New Orleans. And she says she's back and forth from New Orleans often because she's got family there. So for her to try to live in both places, her dating in New Orleans is not necessarily a bad thing because she has a real plan. She ain't asking nobody to come back to Houston. She's open to what this process is for real. So it's unfortunate that they didn't have no real, potential. And what can you do? I would say the real potential is probably not gonna sign up for this bullshit. But anyway, Tabari be in Mississippi too much, and for her that's a problem. She said he's got to be there because of his baby. What size is this baby? You know what I'm saying? Because if he's 10, maybe you call a 10-year-old baby. They're not gonna like it, so you should probably stop doing that. I'm just not sure how old is the baby? And then Tabari said, if things progress between the two of them, priorities can change. And I was like, not the baby. That priority can't change the priority. What are you talking about? We're not changing those priorities. So you stick with your schedule over here in Mississippi, and because we don't know how old this baby is, but when you say baby, it seems like he probably needs you there in Mississippi. So we're not gonna be switching priorities over here on the baby. That made me, irritated. So Tabari, I'm not a fan of his mannerisms either. He's just so I don't know, like the Pillsbury Doughboy kind of. Just, the way he stands there and be's goofy. So back at the house, Cam pops up on Zadia. I think Cam went to sleep that night and thought about all the things he said, that she was saying, like him, change his plans, his vision. And I don't know what bending Zadia thinks she's doing, but she's not making any sense. And I think Cam likes her, but he was like, this is a lot. I got to be going on dates with this girl, and she wants me to make decisions about things that I'm not prepared to make decisions about right now. I just want to date and see what's up. And that's very smart, Cameron. Keep that same energy. I think he likes her. I think in this moment, he feels like, and then seeing her probably doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got his big bad ass boy on energy when he's laying there by himself and well, I'm just gonna tell her I can't really do this. And he gets over there, he sees her, and he's like, but I like her though. So he punks out. That's what I think. Because I feel like you don't really expect to go on a show and find somebody you like for real. Everybody's here has an ulterior motive. Cam says he's got a photography business, and all the shit he's got going on over there. So I feel like, you know what it was. You didn't come here necessarily to find Zadia, but when you got here she was. And y'all was down to the inspiration point, necking all night long. Shout out to Fonzie, Potsy, Ralph, and Richie. I mean, I feel like Zadia is kind of like pressuring him to move faster than he's comfortable moving, and then keeps saying that she wants him to move to DC. And in his mind, he's probably like, I'm not moving to DC, so there's no point in us even really carrying on, because I mean, if you still want to hang out, we can do that, but anything more than that is not probably going to be a thing. If you want to smash, we can smash. I feel like that's where Cam is, because I'm not switching my vision. Sorry. He was like, look, you be going on other dates and things, and I'm not trying to hold you. Like, if you find somebody that you would rather move in another direction with, I'm telling you, this is much time I have and how much I'm gonna be able to put into it. And she's like, is that what you want? You want me to choose somebody else? It's just the last confessional, you was over there talking about is one blind date. If he don't get it together, one blind date will knock him out of his spot. So now he's telling you, look, if you get that date, you should take it. That's what I heard him say. Don't be in your feelings now, girl. I think he likes her, but I think he knows that this ain't it. This ain't it, bruh. They're at the house. They're having a little mixer, and Donald's corny ass. Oh, Donald, we heard Ashley rap. Did y'all know Ashley was over here rapping? I didn't know that. I'm not surprised. She could probably juggle and do the baton and all of those things. So they tell Donald, yeah, like I heard you were a poet. Let's, give us some of your poetry. And then Donald goes, roses are red, violets are blue. Ashley is toxic. And Donald, you probably are too. That was mine. But I feel like, you know what? Roses are red, violets are blue, Donald. Fuck out of here. Don't ever say you do poetry. Stop it. Sharice over at the mixer with 2 days. She got Will, who brings her a nice gift, and she got High Top Fade Nick, who came empty-handed, but he did bring a 6-pack. So Venicia tells Tabari, she's concerned about the distance and the whole Miami thing, but she's going to keep him around because he's our only option. That's fine. Ashley and Donald, have a moment. Ashley's concerned that Donald's been married before. Donald is like, that doesn't have any effect on you. Listen, I'm trying to get in the thing with you, girl. You're the one I want to be trying to plan that future with. So they planning the wedding, y'all. That's what the man said. She decides to keep him around after a little suspense. We have to keep them hanging. I've decided that I'm going to keep you around. He leans over, they hug. Her skirt's little because she keeps having to scooch her skirt down. He gives her a big hug. She takes those big old long ass claws, and of course, she got to wrap him around. She didn't give him like the whole head grab. He got a little more back of the neck grab, and then he kissed her, and she physically like turned her head. She don't even like kissing him. I saw it, and she's like, "Ooh, our first kiss. You didn't like it." Honestly, I mean, Donald ain't got enough lips for me. He's got, little perchy lips. So I can imagine what, bird kisses feel like. I'm just saying. When she had tried to kiss Kirsten that one time, he swerved on her a little bit. And then the next time he kissed her, she damn near fell off her feet because, they have that unmatched energy. This time, though, when Donald reached in to kiss her, they had a real romantic little peck. And she tried to put it on him, talking about it was quick, but Ashley she literally like turned her head. Girl, I see you. I mean, you the one over here trying to be hopelessly romantically in love with this man that you're not really interested in. But okay, girl. Sharice tells Will they're not a match. They're not. Like, as all, Will was definitely the better choice. And not even because he brought a gift. He's just intellectual. He doesn't have a six pack necessarily. He's got a 6-year-old, and we know Sharice really don't want that. So she was very nice in the way to handle it. They're not a match, so there's no point in keeping him around. And for whatever reason, she wants to see high top fade over here, butt naked in the kitchen, so he could stay. Um, Zadia keeps Cam, of course, even though he's hesitant to move forward with the process. But at the end of the day, he's telling her, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, because I've heard people say he's done with her, he doesn't like her. I think he does like her. That's why he's still here. If he didn't, he would have did the same thing. What's the name? Did Kirsten? But I think he's also a nice guy. Like, he doesn't seem like he wants to be hurting anybody's feelings. Tamika tells the ladies that she wants them to revisit some options that they may have overlooked. None of them are happy about that. They were like, nope, we already threw them niggas away. We don't want to do it again. But they got to do it again. So, first up, Venicia. She walking down the street into this little restaurant situation, and there stands Mizell. Why is Mizell there for? They never went on no date. He was over here trying to backslide through the back door, behind Sharice's back, slimy little snake, and she was here for it too. So this happened. Mizell and Vernisha were on Crystal XO because they was over here calling each other a liar. And Mizell is definitely a liar, but I'm not gonna call Vernisha a liar. I just, you know, I just, I guess, child. She tried to explain away the whole situation with, they're all up for grabs. So, okay, they're all up for grabs, and we'll leave it at that. But why would you want to go out with somebody? I feel like that's moving like Mizell is moving. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, him trying to get to know her, it would have even been better if he did it like, I don't know, you trying to talk to me at the event this other girl brought me to. It just none of it was good. And he's a smooth talker, you know. He's sitting there talking, explaining like how things worked out, and it's funny because everything she said in this scene he agreed to, and then on Crystal XO he was over here saying like it didn't happen that way, and he wouldn't even say. They asked him, like, well, were you attracted to her? Oh, I'm a heterosexual man. One thing he wants you to know is he's a heterosexual man. And I don't know why he needed to keep saying that shit, but yeah, Mizell's heterosexual, just in case you were wondering. None of us were, but he wanted to make that clear. And he likes all the women. He likes them young. He likes them old. He likes them thin. He likes them thick. And so when he's seen Vernisha, like it was just like she's just, I'm a heterosexual man and she's a woman. And so they could just say, yeah, yeah, we see it, we all see it, we all go, girl, she's working with. It's a whole lot of, and and not in a bad way by any means. It's a lot. She's working with a lot. And I think it's distracting sometimes for the boys to focus. She was asking him, like, basically why he handled things the way he did, without saying to Sharice, like, what he was trying to do. When he said he hadn't had no type of communication with Sharice, so he didn't feel like he owed her any explanation, which is messed up because she invited you. She invited you to this party, so you knew you were there, like, because she invited you there, fool. You don't feel like you owe her nothing? And then, so how do you want Vernisha to receive that? Because you coming across like real slippery. It's funny because when he came in, and we did not know him, you're like, oh, he's a good looking guy. Now you're just like very predatory, sneaking around, shifty. Now, Mizell sat up there and said if he had a do-over, he would definitely do things differently. Although he's standing in his shit over there on this interview, over there with Crystal XO. He actually over there said he was interested in Sharice. He didn't have no interest really in Venicia like that. Like if he had to choose, he would choose Sharice. That's what he said. Over here, he telling her he wants to, look forward to seeing if there's any possibilities between, him and Vernicia over here. So Vernicia asked him very directly, she said, are you still interested in Sharice? And of course, that's the cliffhanger. Now I'm interested to see what he gonna say, because like I said, he was over here on Crystal XL saying, yes, Sharice was the one he was trying to. Next week is, Ashley's turn, and then it brought back Kirsten, and I don't know why they did that, because I just don't really feel like Ashley is emotionally strong enough to be dealing with this guy, because he's, because anyway, that's mean, y'all. Y'all should have left him off the table. Maurice is back for Sharice. Maurice, I guess the people was out here voting for Maurice. I mean, ain't nobody trying to sit up here and keep watching them eating. That's stupid. But Bobby Brown ain't finna do nothing. So Cameron's still twerking on the handstand. Cameron, you done told her this 3 times now. Shit. Is you or is you ain't? Are you staying or are you going? Because at this point, like, you really don't know her like that. You shouldn't be that daggone torn. Do you have time or don't you have time? And if you don't, peace out, bruh. She'll figure it out. She ain't finna stay there no daggone way. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll be back next week.